Okay, so let's take a look at an application problem of how a teacher might use a function to help them understand and guide their instruction. So example one, a teacher is grading papers and creates a function in her Google spreadsheet. Functions are huge in spreadsheets. To take any grades that are failing and make them red. This is the function. Take any grade that is failing and make it red. Okay? So the inputs are the grades and the output is the color. Okay? So you take a grade, you put it into the function. The function determines whether it is a failing grade or not. If it is a failing grade, they make it red. If it's not a failing grade, they don't do anything to it. That's the function. So function always has a rule. This is the rule. Okay, her spreadsheet is below. Highlight the grades that would be changed to red with this function. So we are going to be the function. We're going to do the functioning, the rule. We're going to apply the rule to the inputs. So all of these white boxes here are the inputs. Those are the grades. And we need to determine as the function whether it is a failing grade or not. So first one, failing grade, yes, I'm making it red. Second one, failing grade, yes, making it red. Third one, failing grade, no, I'm not doing anything to it. Fourth one, not failing. Fifth one, not failing. Sixth one, failing. Okay, we have now our outputs. This is now an output table. The output is this one turned red, this one turned red, stayed white, stayed white, stayed white, turned red. That's a function, guys. We input the grades, we output our new column, which has some of them red and some of them not, based on our rule. Okay, let's look at example two. The same teacher wanted to make this spreadsheet even more useful. So she made this new function rule for a new spreadsheet. Here's the function rule, okay? It's a little bit more complicated. The more complicated a function is, sometimes the better the output's going to be in terms of understanding and applying something to your understanding. So here's our function rule. Grades below 50 are going to be red, okay? So grades below 50 are red. Grades that are between 51 and 70 are going to be yellow. And then 15 or grades that are, gotta get a green in here. Okay, yellow, okay. Grades that are above 70 are going to be highlighted green. There we go. So that's our function here. Here's our three options. It says, what would the function do to this new spreadsheet? Okay, so very simply, I'm going to go in through first. Anything that's below 50, I'm going to do red. That's what this function would do. So there's a red, there's a red, there's a red, there's a red. Okay, I'm just going through, very easily finding the ones that are below 50. Now, is this one below 50? No. So that one would be included. Actually, this should say, I made a mistake here. This should say 50. So that's my fault. Let's fix that. Okay, it should say 50. Okay, so that one is included in this yellow. That one will end up being yellow. Okay, so not that one. Let's finish this out. Here's a red and here's a red. So the function has computed everything from the first line. So the first line was grades below 50. The second line is grades between 50 and 70 are going to be yellow. So now we're doing yellows between 50 and 70. So that gives me 66. That gives me the 70, 60, not 72. Another 60. Okay, nothing there, nothing there. This 50% we said was going to be yellow. Okay, and that's it for that one. Just a couple yellows. And then now we got our greens. So our greens are above 70. All right, so above 70, above 70, above 70. Boom, boom, boom. And what this function is going to do for us, or for this teacher, is going to give you a nice visual on where these students are at with these assignments. So if you take a look at this, it looks like most of it is green. Some of it, very few are in yellow, and then more are in red. So what does that tell me as a teacher? That tells me a lot of students are getting this pretty well. Some are right on the fence that could, with a little bit of understanding from me, a little bit more support, maybe be turned into green, right? These yellows are very close to a green. Okay, so they might be able to be flipped into a green with a little bit more understanding. And then the reds are the students who, or the certain grades that maybe I need to do a little bit more intensive support. Maybe I need to go back and teach that one again, especially number 14, right? If you look at 14, this assignment had almost all reds. So what does that tell me? It tells me that maybe number 14, I need to go back and look at a little bit more deeply. Okay, so a teacher uses functions like this all the time to really get an understanding of how their teaching is going, how their students are doing, and what they need to do to make their students most successful as possible. So there's your application for real world and function. Now, this is important here. So let's notice no box has two colors in it. Okay, every box just has one color in it, no two colors. Why is that? It's because a function assigns exactly one output for every input, meaning this function only did one output, which is the color per box. Okay, no box was more than one color. You will never get, this is a super important rule for functions, you will never get two outputs for the same input into a function. Okay, so a function will only give you one unique output for every input. Every time you put something in, so if I take this 40 and I put it into my function, I will only get a red box. I won't get a red box and then a blue box or a yellow box or a red box. Okay, only red, right? I won't get green from this. I won't get yellow from this. There won't be two. Every 40 that you see in this table is red. Every 40 you see in this table is red, which makes sense because it fell under this stipulation, which is that anything below 50 turns red, right? It wasn't included in this 50 to 70. It wasn't included into this above 70. So it didn't become a different color anywhere in the table. It was always all the 40s are red. All the 60s are yellow. I got two 60s here. They're both yellow, right? All the 90s, okay? All the 80s are green. Nothing changed, even though they're in different spots in the table. It still gave me, okay, the same output. All right, and this is going to be important. So I'll see you guys in the next video.